yes, and Temple had to learn. Now we get into rules. How did I teach her rules? Some of them she had to learn other ways, and one of them was she had to wait her turn to be helped by Mrs. Reynolds. And Mrs. Reynolds took them into a separate room, those who needed help. And Temple learned then that rule. And it was a big, she was only 2. And my point is the younger you learn these things, the longer, the younger the child is before the autism pattern is fully established. You're getting started another pattern, a better one. Now, I didn't understand that when I was taking it there, but I kind of began to get a feeling about it. And I began to make other choices for Temple's future, better choices. A great thing about choices is if they don't work, choose something else. There's no hard and fast rule. Now, again, this is 1949. These accomplished women had all knew each other and they'd worked simple solutions out. Mrs. Reynolds told me to take Temple to Mrs. Huckle. Mrs. Huckle ran a little summer camp for children on the autism spectrum. Temple stayed there 3 days a week and she liked it. It worked. And she began again. There were other children there. They played together. This wasn't a lesson. They they played games together. She began to understand how to be part of a group. And Mrs. Huckle said, I think Temple could be mainstreamed at 5 if you've got a little country day school and they understood her history. I took Temple to Dedham Country Day School. We lived in Dedham, Mass, about a half hour outside of Boston. And it was the little country day school that all the neighborhood children went to. I told them the story to Mr. Ladd, who was the what do you call him then? He was the head of the school, and to Mrs. Deach, who was head of the pre-K through 3rd grade department. They listened to the story. Now, here's where parents come in. This is Mr. Ladd said to me, we will take Temple because we think we can work with you. We have turned down other parents, other children, because we didn't think we could work with the parents. It's a joint journey, and all of it is on the job training. Now, and what happened then with Mrs. Deach? She and I talked almost every day. And this meant that Mrs. Deach knew what happened at home. I knew what happened at school. It held Temple to expectation. She began to realize what was expected from her. And it also held her to consistency. Again, it grounded her. Expectation and consistency. And Temple was happy in the school. These were the children in the neighborhood where she lived, and she began to play with them. Now, there were days when Temple couldn't manage school, and Mrs. Deach would call me and say, can you come and get her, take her home? Yes. And she used those times to explain to the other children in the class about autism. So now that they're all in their 70s, they feel they had a role in bringing up their famous friend, Temple Grandin. So now the other thing that Temple learned was, I have to play games by the other children's rules. Otherwise, they won't let me play. Now, when I talked to the woman who does Sesame Street, she said, "Oh, that's terrible." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is the way we play hide and seek. This is the way we play capture the flag. Games have rules. If you don't want to play the game, fine, don't play it. But if you want to join the game, these are the rules of the game." And Temple learned at 5 years old, I have to play the games the way the other kids play them, or they won't let me play. Now, girls are more social than boys are who have, Temple wanted to be with the children. Sometimes you've got autistic children, generally a boy, doesn't care whether he's part of the group. She wanted it. Was a big step forward. I don't know how you make children want it who don't want it.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.